Okay, can you guys hear him now?
If you didn't hear me, you heard my phone.
I always have this one particular problem. Every time it's I don't know what it is. It's got something to do with Skype. All right, guys, can you hear him now? All right, they can hear you now.
Good. All right. Um, can I clear something up before you start?
Sure.
I was watching your the intro when you were explaining about the whole situation. There was one thing I don't know. I think a lot of the people might be confused about, but the person that revealed gave you like their Steam account, that wasn't me.
Yeah, I know it was.
That
I didn't say it was you.
okay. Okay, no, I just a lot of people like will take one thing and like go run with it. So that's all.
Yeah, it was your boy Matthew. How was the audio, guys? Is it? Can you guys hear us like equally, or is it weird where like before, where like I was really low and he's really high, or does it sound fine? It's equal. It's good. He's a little louder.
All right, I'll turn my mic down a little bit. Am I good now?
Let me see. I think I'll be able to fix it. All right, say something, bro.
Yep. Yeah.
One more time.
I'm here.
Okay. I think that should do it. All right. So, as the challenger, I will go ahead and let you open up with whatever you would like to say or start the topics out with.
Um. Well, the thing I was going about on Facebook was when I was telling what the hell did I say about these PC gamers and this no my beef was about like every time I seen like hate towards um Microsoft or the Xbox brand, it would be from both PC and PlayStation guys. And PlayStation guys, I can see, okay, yeah, that's direct competition. But what I didn't get was why there was so many PC guys against the Xbox. And you said you answered my question many times in the Facebook. I'm sorry, I was too lazy to go scroll up, and I just didn't get it. There was between all the other people trying to answer, there wasn't to me, I found like a legit answer that I just thought I just don't get. Why do PC like what
Well,
was a PC guys take before Microsoft came out with an Xbox? You know what? How did you guys think about them then? Like, what happened?
well, like I said on Facebook, I gave you like a real straight to the point answer. I said PC stands for freedom and options, which is why PC gamers go towards the PlayStation brand because Sony has always offered options and freedom. So it's just hand in hand. Microsoft's always been about locking people down and controlling their consumers. And that's not what PC gamers like.
But you all right? So you back PlayStation. So with PlayStation, wait. My question is, do you own a PS4 and Xbox One, or you just don't do PC?
I just have a PC.
Okay, because what freedom do PlayStation gives you, like especially in this day and age, like what freedom in comparison to the PC that like whereas Microsoft got us in handcuffs, like what is it that PlayStation is doing?
Well, just for a small example, you do realize that since the inception of Xbox Live, you guys have had to pay to play online, right?
Proudly, yes.
And on the PlayStation brand, they've only had to start paying for online just this console cycle. But it's not so much just that, but they can also play games for free, like the free to play games online still, which they
So
can't do on the Xbox.
yeah, we can.
You can play free to play games for free without Xbox Live Gold.
I can, unless it expires after a certain time. But I've tried it. I tested it. That when they were doing the whole DRM argument thing, that's when it came into like became a issue, and I was like, let me see if these games already have like DRM. I tried it with some of the, I believe the EA Access games. We tried it with the games with gold. I think what game was it? Max Curse of the Brotherhood was one of the first ones we tried it with. So unless I, like I said, I didn't. This wasn't like a long period of time for like a couple of weeks or something. This was like maybe a day or so, a day or two, and I seen that it was still working and still active. I didn't have to be required to go on the internet unless the game was an internet based game.
I'm not. I'm not talking about DRM. I'm talking about playing games online, like online games, multiplayer.
Playing like so. Oh, so you're saying like if I wanted to play Killzone online on the PlayStation and not have PlayStation Plus, I can do that?
Yeah.
You can, is that you saying we can, so PlayStation players without PlayStation
No, what I'm
Plus
saying is,
play Killzone online?
that's what I'm trying to get you towards. I'm not talking about like, the games for gold stuff. I'm talking about
Hmm.
playing games online,
Online.
online multiplayer.
Oh yeah, online multiplayer being locked behind a paywall. Yeah, I understand that's Xbox Live, but I don't. I'm almost certain that you can't play PlayStation games online without paying for PlayStation Plus. I'm pretty sure you can do other things, but I'm sure
Well,
you
like
can't.
I told you on Facebook, I said while they do have, multiplayer locked behind a paywall as well on the PS4, free to play games you can still play without having to pay for PlayStation Plus. So that
So free
still
to
gives
play games you
gamers
can play online.
options. It still gives gamers options to play online without having to pay for PlayStation Plus.
I'm not too sure about that. I find that hard to believe, but if it's so,
If you would like,
kudos.
I can go ahead and
I
just show you right now.
sure.
Then I got this green screen. I can just make this small. There we go. Let's see, what should we search for? Let's see, online multiplayer games on PS4 without PlayStation Plus. Free access to online multiplayer for all PS4 players. This weekend, that was just a weekend thing. Let's see, Warframe.
If you're talking about a weekend promotion, the Xbox does that too. They did that with
Well, I'm just
Forza.
talking about games like, Warframe and that's the other game where you can just like shoot. It's like one of those like old World War fighters, airplane
Oh, so
fighters.
it's not all games. It's just selective games on the PlayStation
The
4.
free to play games, free to
All the
play
free to
games.
play games that have online multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'll look more into that. But if that's the case of why the PlayStation is better than the Xbox to PC gamers, that's a little
Well,
strange because those like
it's games
not all.
like War Thunder. I don't know if you've played that one.
No, I
Blacklight
haven't.
Retribution,
Hmm.
DC Universe, free to play
Okay.
games.
Okay. So like, but but for the if PC gamers are only or just like free to play. I mean, I understand. Okay, well, damn, that's your cup of tea. But like, what about the big titles that everybody goes out and buy? All those games are going to be locked behind a paywall. So if this is a thing that's based on free to play, we like PlayStation because they have a lot more free to plays and they're online for free to plays. It's free. Then I mean, it's different, but I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing that being a legitimate argument. But
Well, I was just making the argument because that just shows an option that Sony gives gamers so that they can still play games online without having to pay for PlayStation Plus. But you don't get that same
Yeah, but
option on
what
the
if those
Xbox One.
games you don't want though? What is the like they're
Well,
free
if
to
you don't
play.
want, if you don't want to play a free-to-play game, that's fine. You have other options. You can get PlayStation Plus if you want to. You can buy a PS3 and play online for free if you want to.
Yeah,
But you
but yeah,
still
yeah,
have you
which
still
makes
have the option of
no
playing
sense.
games online on the PS4 without having to pay extra.
You do, but I would honestly prefer a free to play weekend on big hit titles that I'm actually going out to buy than being able to play online games that are free that I've never been interested in the first place. But
Well, don't those
that's
free-to-play weekends usually roll around long
yeah,
after the game's already released?
but when they do those free to plays, they're doing it for games that are like, oh shit, we get to play this game for free. Like when
And
they
that
did it for
happens on all
Forza.
the platforms except the Wii U.
Yeah, but that's the thing that can't be really like, oh, PlayStation gives me options because they give me a handful of games that I can play online for free. But you
But
know,
it is an option. You just agreed earlier that it is an option. It gives
yeah,
you the
it's an
ability to
option.
play
Because
online without
I
having to pay
agreed
extra.
earlier because I thought it was a thing that you said. I thought you were meaning like all games. I know when you clarified that was
No,
free to play
I
games
said
and the large
I said free to play games like Warframe, stuff like
free
that.
free to play. Yeah, you later included that once I was making a Killzone interpretation, and once we realized Killzone obviously is a AAA hit, we then like said no, it was the free to plays, and I get it. But the thing is, the free to plays there's many of free to plays, but not all of them are heavy multiplayer options
But they're multiplayer. It's online
uh,
multiplayer for free,
for
which you
for
can't
free.
get on the Xbox platform.
Yeah, but you can get on the PC.
Yeah, and thus
So that's the
exactly
but why?
that's
So
why that's why PC gamers support the PlayStation brand because there's options just like on the
so
PC.
that's weird. So PC and PlayStation share free to plays and indies, and Xbox and PC share AAA titles, but PC prefers PlayStation because of the
I'm
free to
not
plays.
baking the entire argument off of that. I'm just giving you one example of a
All right.
reason.
How many examples did you have?
Um, I don't know. I talked about various things if I remember correctly. Like I know I said later on. Let's see. I got it right here. Freedom options. Oh yeah, I remember I did ask you several questions that would have been very nice for you to answer.
Okay.
Regarding the freedom stuff.
All right.
Like I asked you, um, and this goes towards why someone on the PC who's used to freedom and options might like the PlayStation brand over the Xbox brand. But I asked you which company tried to fuck over the entire world of gamers with DRM.
Tried it. Well, it depends. That's really subjective. If like, because not everybody saw it that way. I didn't see it that way, but I can tell you who
Yeah,
ended
I
up
know. I know you probably
fucking
didn't
over
see
with
it
the
that
super.
way, but as you can clearly see, a great majority of the gamers in the world
Yeah,
said no. So if
yeah.
you could answer the question, that'd be
Oh,
nice.
okay, all right. If you're forcing me into a question that, all right. So if that's how you see it, yes, it was Microsoft who wanted everybody online always, who wanted everybody to do the 24-hour check-in and stuff like that. And yeah, get it. Everybody hated it, but me. Everybody hated it. Understand it. Um, Now, with that, which bugs the shit out of me that everybody keeps resorting to that because obviously the Xbox One is here and it has none of those things everybody hated. So, but coming to find out, the other platform had something up their sleeves, and still with some of their games were
Like
completely
what?
utilizing like the DRM functionality. So
Like what?
like what? I can guarantee you that's one of the reasons why the free version of Drive Club isn't here yet.
Or it could be just that the game is just poorly developed and isn't ready for a free release yet.
It's free. They was able to put out a retail version, but not a free version. How different can it be?
Well, you got
One's
to
free.
understand if
The
you have a
master.
bad product out there on the market and the people who bought it legitimately are having problems connecting and playing online, why would you add more issues to that by handing out free copies of it?
That's what you do to wipe your hands with it. I mean, that's what Sony does. Like I don't like
So you're upset that they
why.
want to fix it first before they
No,
release the free version?
they don't want to fix it. Why sell? Why make everybody buy it? Buy the broken game instead of just giving the broken game away for free. Why fix the free version? Why bother? But yet make everybody pay for the $60 version. You fix the free version, but everybody done bought the broken version.
But you said they didn't release the free version.
No, you saying they won't. You just said they won't release the free version until it's fixed, till they finish working on
Well,
it. But I
yeah,
was like,
once they get everything fixed, I'm sure
and
they'll
made
be
everybody.
releasing the free version.
But yeah, they're gonna release the
That makes
fixed
sense. Isn't that what you would do?
version. Make everybody pay for the broken version. No, everybody once the free version hits, everybody should get a $50 credit who bought that game. Like that's how
Well,
I
they
see it.
might. In other
You know,
countries,
you know what?
people have gotten refunds,
And you know
but
what?
broken games get released all the time.
Here's the thing, and this funny thing about this freedom and everybody feeling. I feel like Microsoft and anybody called me a fanboy, a corporate slave. That's everybody's new favorite word. I felt this is what I did, right? I knew on October 28th, I bought me a new Xbox One, the white bundle, Sunset Overdrive bundle. I already have an Xbox One at home, but I wanted the white Xbox One. I knew 2, 3 days later they were doing a price drop of $50. It didn't stop me. It didn't make me wait. I still bought my console. The day that the sale went, the day that they started the 349 sale for the Xbox One that you get, they gave me a token for a free game, which was a $50 game of Rise in the Room. And I'm like, wow, I don't feel as bad now. I don't feel as mad now. I don't think Sony had a problem giving people $10 back on the Last of Us remaster once they dropped that price to $50. They gave me a $50 game because they knew they would likely get some backlash for people who just bought new bundles at $400 when they just went on sale 2 days later at $50 bundle. And if that's not goodwill, I don't know what is. I end up giving that game away on a podcast I did only because I originally owned the game. But I think Microsoft and the Xbox team don't get enough credit for what they do, and they still getting hate for things that they didn't do, but things that they intended to do that everybody is still following. So the whole DRM thing, right? Xbox wanted to go digital. Everybody said no, no, no. What's happening? Everybody's
Well,
buying.
you got to understand, it wasn't just going digital. You do realize this, right?
I do realize it, but a part of going digital,
Well, then
a
why would
lot
you
of
say
things,
it's just all digital when it's not? That wasn't the main problem to the DRM.
but
Everyone
that was
understands having DRM on digital content, because that makes sense. But the main issue here was that the DRM extended beyond digital to physical copies. It even extended to controlling just how much buyback value a game would have and where you can trade your game in and whether or not you could trade your game in. It was complete and 100% control over a retail physical copy.
now.
Wouldn't you say that's an issue?
It depends on how you look at it. You know what I mean? I didn't, like I said, I watched the whole conference. I watched interviews afterwards. I was just looking forward to the product when it came. I watched
Yeah,
everybody's.
did you watch the part where Microsoft pretty much said if you don't like it,
Yes.
fuck off, get an Xbox 360?
Yeah, Don Matrix. Yes, I seen that on the
And
what's that
so you
station?
can't imagine why
Like,
a gamer would be against Microsoft.
um, no, because I still had an Xbox 360 at the time. And I was like, the thing was if I like what I see, I'm going to get it. If I don't like it, I'm not going to get it. I mean, I have no reason to hate a product. For me, it's either iPhone or Samsung. I don't hate
Well, I
Samsung
don't
because I
think
have an
people
iPhone.
really hate the product. I think it's mostly, the policies behind the product that govern the
Yeah,
product, the
where
business
is these
practices that
are
get
these
put upon
are
the
these policies
consumers.
in effect? Do we have issues trading in games?
No.
No, no. So why is it a problem? We don't have these issues. This was something that they wanted to do a year ago.
So you're telling
The
me,
consumer
so
spoke
what you're
against it
telling me
and they
right
did not.
now is that because they didn't do it, everything is
Yes,
honky dory and okay.
yes, yes.
So let me
Because
ask you.
yes,
So let's say you're a gamer, you've been supporting Microsoft for a long time.
yep.
Oh, I'm disappearing here. Anyway, but let's say you invested a lot of time into, let's say, a woman, a beautiful woman. You
Okay.
guys got kids, you guys got a house, and then she cheats on you.
Okay.
What would you do? How would you feel?
I don't see where this is
Would you
going.
feel betrayed?
I would, yeah, I feel yeah, duh, as long as yeah, but I don't see where this is going.
And would you take her back?
Will I take her back? Um, Unfortunately, I haven't had gone through this, so honestly, I
I'm not
really
asking
can't
whether or
say.
not you have. I'm just asking you, would you take a woman that's cheated on you multiple times? Would you take her back?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yes,
Well, that's the same way people view Microsoft.
but
Microsoft
how?
tried to fuck us, and just because they changed their mind about what they're going to do, it doesn't make it okay.
All right,
It
so
doesn't.
that this is where it gets really weird. How does I don't understand where it becomes Microsoft trying to. It wasn't Microsoft. Sony was gonna fuck you guys too. Here you got to think about it. This is where
What
people
was
don't just
Sony going to do?
listen, just
What was
listen.
Sony going to do?
Please, just listen, right?
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, you have Microsoft, you have Sony, but then you have the people that make the games that wanted these policies to make more money, so at least they could reap some of that money that GameStop was taking from them. You know what I mean? So they had an understanding. Why would they let one, publisher do it and not the other? It wouldn't work out for them. Everybody had to go all in for this to work. Microsoft was first to
And you
go
would
because
know
it felt
this. Why?
because looking at the stuff that you're dealing with, it's like a lot of parties have to be involved because you're changing the landscaping of how we buy games. For example, PlayStation 2 and Xbox days. Once the Xbox and the PlayStation 2 were dying off, we noticed games were the pricing games were going to jump from 50 to 60. Xbox 360 was the first one to go, and their prices were $60. Everybody else followed suit. So like
Okay.
this has to be an all in thing. I don't think if when developers like come on, you have first party. If I guess I understand if this was a thing that was all first party thing, but you have third party developers involved. This has to be an all in thing because this is a game changer, an industry changing thing. So that's why I don't think this is it's Microsoft. This would have been something industry wide. It's just that if it was successful, if it was pitched successfully, it would be a
If it
complete
was
different
industry
story.
wide, then we would have heard it industry wide. Wouldn't you agree?
No, no, because this is why thanks to the internet, Twitter, we got so much fast like
You would
technology.
think with all the people out there leaking stuff all the time, we'd have at least, seen someone other than Microsoft.
Yep.
I mean, you would think, right? Industry wide.
No, it's people. It's like a wait and see, watch and see. I'm pretty sure developers knew what was going on, and they were all in for it. They were all in. You notice there was no developer that spoke out against it.
Okay.
There was not one. There was nothing. Nothing.
Well, I can't really speak for the developers, but if I were in their position, um, it really just depends on, the state of the company, what their margins are like, what kind of contracts they have. There's a lot that would go into that. But just personally, I really wouldn't care either way because I would just sell my game regardless. But as a gamer, I wouldn't want, my physical copies of games being completely controlled by a single entity.
Um, if I was a developer and I have an opportunity to sell as many games as possible, I would want for every
Well,
time
why do you
GameStop
think they
sells
sell
one copy.
DLC?
Yeah, but that DLC can only get you so far. Not everybody's buying DLC. People trade in games before DLC even hits.
You do know they make more money off of DLC than in other digital stuff more than anything else, right?
It's possible. It's possibly the case now, but there's always room for more. But I'm telling you, the majority of the people don't buy from just a small sample size I can see here on the internet. People trade in games before DLC even comes. Like it's a possibility they make extra money because there's no DLC. There's no
Look,
like premium
here's
DLC
the
going.
point. You probably don't realize this since you're not really into the digital thing, but there's a way to do DRM to where it doesn't fuck people over.
Yeah, I know it's Steam. Okay, I understand that.
And that's not what Microsoft wasn't trying to do DRM, like Steam. They were doing 100% full control over everything about your ability to game.
Yeah, that's because the original vision for Microsoft they didn't want to use this period. They didn't want nothing to do with Blu-ray. So once the last minute to come in was like, okay, we're gonna do this. I mean, hey,
What is that
when
noise
it was
coming through your
wrong,
mic?
it's probably the washer machine. Hold on. Let me fix this right quick.
Okay. Did he? No, he didn't hang up. He just muted his mic. Mystery song. Well, I guess we'll just wait for him to get back. Shokio is not even in the room anymore.
Is it better?
Um, a little bit. Yeah, it's a little better.
And all right. Well,
Excuse me.
all right. So we were talking about you were mentioning something
Yeah, we're
about
talking about how the difference between the DRM, between Steam and what Microsoft's trying to do, and we just came full circle. That's another example as to why they might support the PlayStation brand over Microsoft, because we just saw what Microsoft's style of DRM was. Nothing
that
like
never came
Steam.
into play though.
Nothing like Steam. They were in full control over everything you could possibly do and want to do with your game. Right?
Okay, right, but my thing is none of this actually exists now. It's not happening. We can still trade in games with no limitations. You know, I
Yeah,
don't.
I know there's some men out there that will gladly take back a woman that cheated on them and did them wrong, but I would call those men fools. I would say
Well,
those men deserve better.
I, don't know, I just like games, man. Good games.
Yeah, I
That's it.
understand. I understand. But also another question I wanted to ask you regarding the freedom and options.
Mhm.
Which company had been charging for online play and for stuff like Netflix for nearly a decade?
Yeah, it was Microsoft,
It
and
was Microsoft.
yeah, but 10 million strong of us didn't really actually see a problem with it if we kept doing it. I'm happy. We were happy. Phil Spencer came through and like took down that paywall. That was big. You know what I mean? It did. I admit. I can tell you this. It did suck.
I don't think Phil
They
Spencer did it. I think they had to do it anyway because
if they had to do it, they would have done it during the 360s.
well, on the 360 they had a year head start and they always had a pretty good lead over the PS3. So I don't really think they had a real reason to do it. But now in today's day and age, where you've got TVs with Netflix built in, Hulu built in, like my TV has Skype. It has Skype, Hulu, Netflix, and an internet browser and all kinds of other stuff. Just right on my TV. I don't even need to. Why would I even think about paying for Xbox Live for any feature like that? Just wouldn't make any sense. Every device out there has those features already. It made no sense to begin with that you had to pay Microsoft for that.
yeah. No, I mean, like I said, I
Not to mention that a lot of the apps on the Xbox One
yeah.
are available
Available.
for free on Windows 8
Well,
in the
my
exact
sole
same thing.
point really paying for Xbox Live was to game online. I'm a console gamer. I prefer consoles. I like automatics over standards. That's what I was gonna
What do
pay
you mean
for.
by automatics?
All right, for example, a lot of people because I look at a console as an automatic in comparison to cars, like, and I look at the PC as a standard, being that to me personally, I think it's just much harder to drive a stick. You know what I mean? And that's how I look at PC gaming.
Well,
I
that
have
would be a pretty
like
bad example since a
what fuck?
PC is fully customizable to whatever
Yes,
way you want it to be.
yeah, but
So
there's
you
certain
can't
things you
really
have to
say it's this kind of car when, if you have
I'm
difficulty
just talking
driving that
about.
particular kind of car, change it. That's what the
Yeah,
PC is
but
all about. Change
they're
it.
both automobiles. It's just one's to me is just more consumer friendly, more user friendly than the other. And I feel like the console's more user friendly than the PC, unless you're
What are
experienced.
you using right now?
I'm using some Dell something.
You're using a computer, right?
Yeah, I'm using a
Do
computer.
you know what
Yeah,
the difference between you and me is?
you game on yours. I don't. I guess is that
The
it?
applications we use. That's it.
Okay.
PC gaming is not hard.
Yeah. Hey, that's subjective. I don't know. Whatever is easy to you may not be the easiest for me. I know with a console, I just turn it on, pick up my controller, and go ahead. I'm not really too good with a mouse and keyboard or
Okay,
downloading
I can
drivers for.
just turn on my computer. I can just hook up my Xbox 360 controller or my PS3 controller.
But
Just plug in my little receiver, turn on my 360
yeah,
controller.
all that stuff you have to do. Like I don't want
What,
it
what do you
to.
mean? Like, what, plug something in?
I don't want. Yeah, I don't want to
Don't you
plug
have
in.
to plug in your batteries to recharge your controllers?
If you call it
If
plugging in,
you
I
can
call it
do
plugging
that,
in.
can't you plug in a receiver once so you can use a
All right.
wireless controller?
Thing
Is that too much?
No, I buy it. All right. Say if I want to game on my PC and I want to, I don't want to use a mouse and keyboard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the store, get my Xbox 360 or my Xbox One controller. I'm going to plug that in. Hopefully the drivers download by themselves. If they don't, I have to go look for them and download them.
Man, you
And
don't
then
sound like you have a whole lot of faith in Microsoft.
I don't. The thing is, I don't have a lot of faith in gaming on PC. I have a lot of faith in gaming on consoles. It's not really a everybody look at it and be like I'm some Microsoft like
I
king
mean,
boy. Like
just
it's
like
not.
you
It's not.
said, it's
I'm,
automatic. You just plug it in, it
yeah, but
installs, and you use it.
yeah, no. I highly doubt it's that simple. You know what I mean?
It
I
really is. The same
well,
way
that being the
you
case, a
can
lot of
connect the same way you connect any, thumbnail drive, the same way you connect any printer. It just
people.
goes online, installs that shit, and you're ready to go. That's just how PCs are now.
All right,
It's
Blackbuster.
automatic.
How long you been gaming on PC?
Since 1990, I'd say maybe 3 or 4.
Okay, and how long have you had the current PC that you currently game on?
About a year.
About a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you just recently upgraded.
No, this one
No.
has a GTX 660 in it, so it's got an older card than what probably most people are using.
Okay. And when do you think you'll be switching or upgrading, or are you good for some time
I'm good for quite a while.
now? All right. That's good because my thing is that not only that the whole customization I get is cool. PCs. The thing is I don't understand why people put computers and consoles in together. I don't understand. But
Well,
the thing is about consoles, I know what I'm getting. I know how long I have it for, and I'll just be ready to get the next one when the next one drops. Whereas, some computers are not computers. Some games, you have to, change something to play a certain game, even though you have one game that plays, perfectly fine. Now, do you play your games at max settings all the time
yes, I do.
with no frame rate dips or anything like that?
Well, seeing how my monitor is only doing 60 frames, if it dips from 100 to 90, I'm not even going to notice.
All right, so I'm sorry I lost you there. I got interrupted for a moment. You were mentioning about your monitor being locked at 60 frames.
Yeah, so I don't really, I'll lock my games at 60 and I'm fine. I don't really get dips ever.
Okay, so you never lowered the settings on your computer to play a game at, or play a game smoother, like if it required it. Because I know Some cases,
Usually, what I try to do is, if I go into my options and I put everything on high, um, the GTX experience, the GeForce experience will automatically detect every game I have and put it on the optimized settings. So I don't have to
okay.
do anything. Like I said, automatic.
Uh, I know it came that way. I mean, I don't understand why I don't understand when I say consoles being automatic, being turn on and play. You know,
I turn my PC on and play
because I'm pretty sure you got it.
every day.
You bought it that way, or you had to set it up that way.
Okay, if you buy the parts, yeah, you do have to put them together at least once.
Yeah, so I'm not in the business of building things. I'm into buying the finished product. You know what I mean. I don't want to have to change anything to play a certain game. You know, I don't build cars. I buy cars. You know, I don't build supercomputers. I just buy a console that can give me something at least
Well, you
close.
do
You know what I
realize
mean?
that you'll get a better car if you customize it, right?
That's true. That is true. But I don't have the patience. So I'm in the market for consoles.
And you don't ever have to upgrade for consoles, right?
Yeah, every upgrade for consoles. Yeah, every what 8 years average.
So let's just say, for example, you have a PS3.
Yep.
Now, if you wanted to play Halo 4, what would you have to do?
If I wanted to play Halo 4, I'd get an Xbox.
You'd have to
For
buy an
sure.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to play Super Mario Galaxy, what would you have to do?
Get a Wii or Wii U or
You'd
something.
have to buy a Wii. Now, if you wanted to play, um, let's say, Master Chief Collection, what would you have to do?
Upgrade to an Xbox One.
If you wanted to play the newest Killzone, what would you have to do?
Get a PS4.
You would have to buy each individual console.
So that guess what?
You would have to
Guess what?
update essentially to a new piece of hardware to
But
play
guess
the
what?
newest stuff, right?
Yep. And you're correct. But the thing is, one, playing on a PC, I can't play any of the games you just mentioned, and then two, the thing is, the time frame between those games. If I'm playing, I'm not playing. I don't think I'll be. I'm not playing Halo 4 now. It's 2014. I'm not playing Halo 4 now. You know, obviously, the time frame between those games allowed me to do an upgrade. Obviously, it was time for an upgrade. You know what I mean? This would be a good question for like the last of. Nope, no, never mind. Because you need that on almost every PlayStation platform. But yeah, that question I don't. Yeah, I understand that you're saying you have to buy a certain platform for each of those games. Yeah, I do, but there's other games there. Now, if you would have said something like the multi-platform games wouldn't have did your question any justice. But you act as if I can turn on my PC and play any of those games. I can't. Actually, none of them.
Well, if you're interested in gaming on the PC, you'd set it up to game and you'd be okay. You
Yeah,
only
but
have to do it once.
yeah, but I can't play every game that I actually want to play. I
Well,
can't. I can't play Mario on a PC. You know,
yeah, you
I,
can.
what is it? One of them the bootleg side scrollers, or do you
No,
guys have to
I
like
can
mod
play. I can play Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 in 1080p.
in 1080p on your PC?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you get to use the Wii controller, or do you have the mods
You
for
can
that, or
use
you have?
whatever controller you like. I
Oh,
can hook
no.
up a GameCube controller to it if I wanted to.
How much work did you have to go to get through that, opposed to just
To
going
do what?
to get your Mario Galaxy to run on your PC?
I had to download a program and I had to download an ISO file and just hit run.
Damn, that sounds like a lot of work.
So you can't move your hand across the screen to select a couple things to get it to
Yeah.
work.
No, I can
You
either
gotta have Connect do it for you.
no, I mean I can either go to
You're
GameStop
telling
either.
me clicking a few things is a lot of work.
when it comes in terms of gaming, gaming, I just want to get up, grab my controller, and go. I don't want to sit there and set up. I don't want to do research on how this thing should work. You know what I mean? Especially being
Well, I'll tell you one thing, my friend. It would take me a lot less time to install Dolphin and run Super Mario Galaxy in 1080p
Blackbuster.
than it would take for you to install any game on your Xbox
Blackbuster.
One.
You've been gaming. You told me you've been gaming on PC since what, 93, 94.
Yeah.
You would be considered, seasoned. Me, I would be considered a noob. I owned a PC all my damn life, but I ain't do a bit of gaming on it besides Uno and Solitaire. So like it'll take me a long time to do whatever to get half the stuff that you got to play the games that I want to play. You know what I mean? Whereas consoles
Well, they have everything in
from
one
day
place
one
for
has
you,
been
bro. If
pretty
you
much
want a game,
simple.
all you have to do is get yourself the PC. All you have to do is install Steam or Origin, and all the games are right there for you.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
there's
complication.
other things that comes with gaming other than games, and that's like really the community and the ecosystem that you're within. There's many things that I like about Xbox Live. When it comes to like friends and I know PC, of course, you can play online for free. I understand that, but I feel like communities are different. You know what I mean? Every community is different. I've been on communities. I'm going to go back, to Nintendo pretty soon. I'm picking up my PS4 pretty soon. The thing is, I don't know. I'll activate a PS Plus account, but I think I might only have it for a month, only because I fear that it won't be worth paying for. But like I said, I do want to experience those communities. But from the 360 day from the 360 days, I just had the best time on the community of Xbox Live, and I'm enjoying it even more on the Xbox One, and that helps a lot in the community. You know what I mean? I don't know what the PC gaming community is like. I don't know how you guys have like party setups, or if you guys just speak to one another, just by a game chat or something like that. But
Just whatever
that
you like. If you want to use the Steam chat system, you can use that. If you want to use Skype, you can use that. Just depends on whatever you want to do. Whatever's good for you. Options.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see where Xbox doesn't give you options. I feel like I have a lot of options on Xbox, or at least
I
what it
mean,
offers.
just to also show you, the difference between, you know, how Microsoft treated the PC gamers and the Xbox gamers and why PC gamers may not like the Xbox brand. Are you
Mhm.
familiar with Games for Windows Live?
Yes, yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what happened with that?
I know it doesn't really much exist anymore, but
Why doesn't it exist?
it wasn't a success from what I saw.
And why do you think that was?
The support wasn't there.
And why wasn't the support there?
I don't know. PC gamers don't buy games. I don't know. No, I'm just playing. No, but no, I just didn't see. I remember one of the games. I know I might be off a little bit, but I remember one time when I was working at GameStop. I know one of the big games that was supposed to be promoted, and I know it was supposed to be through cross playing between 360 and PC. I think the game was called Shadowrun, and that was supposed to be like the start of like this whole integration with PC and Windows Live and everything. I don't know in detail of what happened. I just know, Shadowrun was a failure, and that the whole experiment with Windows games for Windows um, was a failure. You probably can enlighten me, but I don't understand why that's Xbox's problem.
Games for Windows Live was the exact same thing as Xbox Live, except it was on PC.
Okay, so they charged like $50 to or $60 to play.
They also charged to play online
Okay,
on the PC platform,
okay.
charging PC gamers to play online.
Yeah, that's an issue if you've been playing online, free this whole time. So, I mean, I can understand, but I can understand why you guys would be upset that they attempted to make you play for online gameplay after having it for free. Which I don't understand why PlayStation people aren't mad for paying for
I mean,
PlayStation
oh, don't
Plus.
get me wrong. I don't like that you have to pay to play online on the PS4 either. That's part of the reason why I don't have one now because I don't know if I'll eventually get over it. I don't know if I'll get one and just not pay for Plus. But I didn't like that. I never will. Only about half the people who have a PS4 are actually paying for it. So I don't really know what that says about what Sony's doing.
Yeah.
Obviously, Microsoft's going to have more since they've been in the business a lot longer. But when do you have other options on a platform where you can play online for free and have better features, better support, and a bigger library of games?
Now,
It's the biggest slap in the face to try to make you pay for that service.
okay. I can agree with that, but
So you can see why PC gamers might rag on the Xbox platform, right?
yeah, but to right, I'm looking at it from this day and age. Like I said, I wasn't a PC gamer looking out. I'm a console gamer looking looking in. If that made any sense. But the thing is, here's the thing I don't get. My question was, I don't have a problem with, and this I don't even have a problem at all. I just didn't understand why you guys bash Xbox and then praise PlayStation, and I'm looking at it from right now. To me, I'm looking at two companies, two products that do essentially almost the same things. That one has more features here, one has a little bit more power there when it's utilized, or if it ever gets utilized. And I'm like, they both make you pay online. Their digital things work pretty much similar. They play the same games. I was like, what is it that now that makes Xbox One that much worse, or Xbox that much more worse than what PlayStation is? Because whatever freedom
Well,
that you guys had, you were referring to their previous consoles.
well, like I said, they do still have some free to play games they can play online. And I don't remember or not if they have cross platform play. I think I was familiar with I think maybe Blacklight or something might have had cross platform play.
Uh, I'm not sure, but I don't understand why a console gamer would want to play with a PC gamer on anything, because that's like a loss. That's automatic loss. But
Well, Microsoft thought so too, which is why they
yeah,
dumped their cross platform stuff. But
yeah, the shadow, whole shadow,
for
yeah, with
but so
Shadowrun.
far, you know, Sony's been doing that since last gen, so it pretty much works out for them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I
I
mean,
didn't.
and you know, there's games that aren't just, you know, competitive. You know, there's games like Final Fantasy, you know,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
easily cross-platform play. Last gen they had Portal 2, they had uh, Counter-Strike, and
Okay.
I think they actually allowed people to use keyboard and mouse on Counter-Strike last gen as well on the PS3. So you can kind of see where they have a little bit more flexibility on that particular platform over the Xbox One.
Okay. So we have so far you have the free to plays, and then we talked about Xbox's proposed policies that never happened. But what else that
No,
has
they were going to happen until we said something.
yeah, which I just
If
don't
it
get.
was just, you know, some silly rumor that never came to light,
Yep.
then that would be different. But
Yeah, but
when
no,
you come out with that shit and pretty much taunt gamers with it and you know flip them off pretty much, that's a whole different ball game.
but what I don't understand is that they came out, they ain't tried to hide anything. They came out, told you what they wanted to do. You guys said no. They took it back. I know you said, oh, but they were gonna
Yeah, they
work with
took
us.
it back months
But
after they announced it
not
when they
many people
already
received the
had plenty of
facilities.
feedback when it was leaked months before their reveal. Right?
But yeah, but the thing is, they weren't dealing with like the mass, the majority from like the medias of the pressure that was on them. The thing is, I watched the company react, respawn, damage control like a month, but they did it, they did it. There's companies that they'll have an issue and then be completely mute for a while. Oh, which hits my question. Maybe somebody will answer this in the chat. Is Drive Club playable online yet? I mean, not to throw a shout out there, but there's people completely mute on complete issues that are there. I feel like Microsoft as a company, and I'm pretty sure there's other, great companies. Not to break into retail, but LL Bean, oh my God, best retail outlet out there. But Microsoft, when it comes to like community feedback, they're on it, and not just from just that, but since the Xbox One's launch, any issue or any update, anything that we wanted, they were on it. It's like, and I was like, how can you hate that? I've never, and I sound like the craziest fanboy out there. This is like really the first time I've been like really like I'm like so happy about like gaming that like, oh my God, like we're getting this, oh my God, they did that, wow, they're actually listening, like, you know what I mean. I had so many things of that wish lists and freaking stuff I posted in forums for like Nintendo and Sony and with previous stuff, and it was just like, this is like my long lost Christmas list that's not never going to get answered. Whereas with Xbox this year, it's like a lot of the things that I was hoping for, we either got or we know that is coming, and that's where I stand. Like, man, like the Xbox there, and not just the Xbox, but the Xbox team, the Microsoft Game Studios, they're doing their job, and I know it's probably because they're behind in sales and everything, but you can't deny the fact that when it came to fixing their wrongs, they were on it, and they're doing it. It might take a little bit for the whole messaging and the marketing and the whole DRM thing and everything, that checking the policies, the strict policies, but they wanted it. They were straight up. They seen how we react. It didn't happen, and now they did the 180. And the thing that bothers
So
me
essentially, what you're
so,
saying is that I should give them credit for doing what
yes,
they had to do
that's
just to be
exactly what
able
I'm
to
saying.
sell their
No,
platform.
no, that I'm saying. Like the thing is, everybody, because there's to this day, they're still
Because
talking
it
about
took
that.
it took months after all this criticism for them to actually try to change anything.
You got to think about
It
it.
took
The
them a long time after that they had to, they separated the Xbox One from the Kinect.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they can always just lie. They always could have just said, yeah, 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 like the day after, and then spin, uh,
You can't
go behind
lie
scenes
when stuff
backing
gets leaked
for.
and people within the company, pretty much say, "Yeah, this is true," which is why
The thing
that Adam guy got fired.
Yeah, the thing is, I said like, yes, people should give Microsoft credit because for the thing is that the stuff that they did, they still being bashed for things that they wanted to do, but fixed. Like, I don't understand why is there an issue. I hate you because you wanted to go to the movies with her, but you know you didn't because I yelled at you. I mean that's like a dumb analogy, but I'm like, but why? It didn't happen. Now, if this was something that happens a year from now, you guys have a point. You have it. If this, like, they slowly start implementing these crazy, policies that were, you know, on like the disc games and the 24-hour check-ins, like, slowly starting it in the middle of the
They
console's
had
life
no
cycle.
choice to
I
get.
get you.
They had no choice but to get rid of that. They had no choice
Well, hey, that you said you had no choice, but obviously it was there, and somebody gave it a green light. That somebody believed in it. For them to go ahead and
I
really,
mean,
really
yeah, if I was selling a console and I fucked gamers for about a decade, I would try to go all out the next one. And that's pretty much what happened. They try to go all out. They try to go as deep as possible into every gamer. And it just didn't happen. It didn't work. And I'm glad it didn't. But unfortunately, I don't know what's going to happen next console generation, but they might try to come back with it. But I think they might be a little smarter this time.
yeah, there won't be any disc degeneration, so we have no choice. You know what I mean? I like I said, if that's the reason, like that is that turned gamers off completely because what they wanted to do. Okay, I can't blame them, but I can tell anybody right now, I'm having the time of my life on a gaming platform that, like, you know what I mean. Like I said, I thought the 360 was fun. The Xbox One is a great platform. I haven't had this much fun. You know what I mean. I'm older now. On a gaming platform. I feel like they opened a lot of things up It made it a lot, gamer friendly, user friendly for the stuff that we're able to do.
They
There's,
had to because their competition was killing them.
oh man,
They had to
well,
do that, man.
what did the PS3 do
Just
with?
imagine how badly the Xbox One would be selling right now if they still had their DRM, if they still had Netflix and all those other features behind a paywall. Just imagine how much more Sony would have sold.
But my question is like, Netflix and all these other apps that were behind paywalls aren't, no, they're not brand new. I think this should have been something that would have hurt
They're not
them.
brand new. They're not anything that Microsoft has to, provision the consumer with. It's third party stuff. You're paying Microsoft for third party stuff. That's part of the reason why I don't agree with paying Sony or Microsoft for online multiplayer. Because when I buy a game, like for Activision, if I buy Call of Duty, all that's happening is that my platform is connecting to Activision servers. Why do I have to pay Microsoft or Sony for that?
Okay, all right. Okay, I said all right. That. Okay, yeah. Hey, but now Microsoft isn't the only one doing that. But no, I see where you're going with that, and obviously PC, you're not paying for those servers, at least paying to use them. But I don't know. I've been playing. I've been playing. Wow, I can't even pronounce my words. I've been
I'm
paying
just I'm just
for
not
all my
sure
gameplay.
why Xbox gamers like yourself
To
always associate, you know, the Xbox and the PC just because, Microsoft makes Windows, which is generally what a lot of PC gamers use.
yes, so that's the
Why
thing.
do
It's
you
like
why do you feel that they shouldn't be criticizing the Xbox just because, Microsoft is merely involved in both things?
it's not that it's a criticism. It's just that I didn't understand. Like, to me, I go on the internet, and this is like, and like I'm fairly new to YouTube, like this year, and like from like years prior up until like the Xbox One and the PS4 coming out, I would just watch PC dudes and PS4 people just gang up and bash the Xbox One. So Microsoft, anything, they would just rip it
It wasn't
apart.
just it wasn't just PC and PlayStation gamers. It was everybody. Microsoft
Uh,
even had some even Microsoft even had loyal Xbox up against the Xbox. That's how bad that they were doing.
I
You
don't know.
gotta admit, come on.
I can't because I haven't seen one yet. But you can probably link me a couple of videos from the archives from like Xbox. I'm pretty sure there were. I'm sure a lot of 360 people, 360
Everybody was
owners
against
jumped
it,
to
which is
the
why
bit.
Microsoft had to make some changes.
I'm not sure everybody was against it, but you can say the vast majority
Well,
was.
sure, all the Xbox fans that I get to talk to, they've always been supporters of the DRM. You know, I don't understand why someone would offer their anus up to a company that way. Doesn't make sense to me. But there's certain things that I believe gamers have the right to. If they buy a game, they should have the right to sell that game. If they want to give the game to a friend, they should have the right to do that. They shouldn't have to buy physical things and have chains on them every step of the way. Every step of the
Okay.
way, they have to have a passport just to go into the store and just to get the game traded in. That's essentially what Microsoft was putting into place. It was like a concentration camp for gaming.
And not understand that. I can see that being that way. And like I said,
And that's why people were against what they were doing. And that's why Microsoft had to get rid of it because they had no choice. I mean, for fuck's sake, they had the entire military. They had people in the military saying Microsoft was anti military. Microsoft had everybody pissed, bro.
yeah. But the thing is, for them to be
But
bold
you
and
want to
come
give
out
them
that way.
credit. You want to give them credit for being
Yes.
bold, for
No. No. No.
being honest about what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The reason
Yeah.
why they the reason
Two
why they
people
presented the
vouch
way they
for
did is because they simply assumed that everybody would just take it. That's all it really was. They just thought
for,
everyone would
for
go along with it.
for them to be bold and come out and say, "Hey, this is what we want to do. We're going to enforce all these policies on you guys." I had somebody, like I said, a lot of the big party people, big third party and first party people had to be behind it. They had to, because like this is affect. It's not just affecting what Microsoft does. It's affecting how other games are. Like it, it had too much effect on the industry. I'm pretty sure majority of the developers and publishers and stuff were behind it. They had to be. That's why they were mum on the situation. You know, if it was a success,
So
Xbox was getting a lot of praise.
on the
And
Xbox platform, they would have been, DRM'd up, but on the PlayStation platform, they wouldn't.
hey, I don't think
But
it
you're
would have.
saying that they were 100% behind it.
I'm
Because
thinking.
When Microsoft released the information about what they were doing, Sony came out and said the exact opposite of what Microsoft said. So if you're
Yeah,
saying that all the developers and publishers were 100% behind it, then that would make a split off, which means that on one
somebody
platform
would
they
not
would have a
be.
copy of Call of Duty that they couldn't resell and they couldn't trade in, that they couldn't give to a friend, and on another platform they would have a game that they could do whatever they liked.
I don't think that's the thing. Sony made it seem that way. Now I don't have any
How did they
obviously
make it seem?
evaluation,
How did they make it seem
but
that way? They just came out and said
because
you can trade your games, you can share your
but,
games,
but why
no
if
DRM.
do that if you could have done that all along? They obviously knew at that time the media reaction was freaking berserk. You know, if
Microsoft
the
had that media reaction when the leaks got put out there.
if
And
the
Microsoft was damage controlling that shit all day and night. They had feedback before they did their reveal. You have to
yeah, but
realize this. They had the feedback well in place.
well, sometimes you have to
People were on
be
Twitter.
exposed before you can actually
Microsoft fired people over this. They had feedback, but they still went along with their plans and revealed it. And only long after E3, they finally had to be like, we gotta give it up, guys. We gotta give the gamers what they want.
I'm just saying. I think if the reaction was, positive, and like we would have seen a different conference
Well,
from
as
some
you can tell, only
gamer.
individuals like yourself would react positively to that sort of policy, which
No,
is
no, no. I
why
actually say
people
that. I'm
like
just
you
saying.
are few and far in between, and which is why gamers like myself and many others were the vocal majority.
No, I'm just saying if it was like if the reaction was positive, or even if the reaction wasn't negative, we would have seen a different conference from Sony. We would have seen more actually more developers, publishers like EA and stuff coming out and saying stuff about what they're going to do, being more public about
How do you
their
know this?
intention. Because it would have they the majority the industry tends to follow the
Do
standard.
you
You know,
have any brochures that Sony might have not, burned to hide their DRM plans? Do you have any
I highly doubt
insiders
if
that have any
somebody
of this
were
kind of
excited for
information?
Microsoft's plan that Sony wouldn't be
Because
giving
what
out
I'm
any of
talking about
this.
is merely what was already given to the public and is public information.
Okay, all right. No, I don't have any secret podiums, but I said that I don't have, like I said, I don't have any viable evidence to show this. But I'm just saying, just in reaction of the industry, I don't think Sony's plan was to like, oh, we're automatically just gonna show people how to trade in games.
It
People
just
can trade.
doesn't make sense that you would say that all the publishers and developers would be on board
I
when
said,
both Nintendo and Sony were not coinciding with what Microsoft was doing.
I said for them to do it, somebody had to be behind it, and that's I'm talking about. The majority of the publishers and developers had to be behind it, for because, like I said, what was going to happen?
Why would they
A
have to
lot
be
of people had.
behind it? They're not the policy makers. It's not their platform.
It
It's
wouldn't have
Microsoft's platform.
it wouldn't have
That's why
worked if
Microsoft can force any developers to release shit, on par and parody stuff because it's Microsoft's platform. If you want to actually release games on that platform, you have to agree to their terms. They
okay, if
don't
that
have
was
to
the case,
consult anything
every
with you.
game. if that was the case, every game that came out on the Xbox One and PS4 would be the exact same resolution, the exact same frame
When
rate.
I'm
If that
talking
was
about parody, I'm talking about
that's
their.
fair.
I'm talking about their indie parody thing, where if it releases on one platform, it has to release
Oh,
on the Xbox at the
I
same
well,
time.
see, that whole indie thing, which I honestly don't have a problem with.
Which
I
Phil Spencer said that he damage control is saying that he wants the gamers to he then want developers to treat the Xbox gamers like they're first class
yeah, because
gamers,
I don't, and I agree. Why
which is
should we have?
completely
Why
hypocritical.
should we have to wait
Absolutely
for a
opposite of
2000
everything Microsoft has
PS4
ever
on
done.
the PC before we get it? And I don't want the Xbox One to be flooded with a bunch of useless indies. I want quality. If you're gonna give me an indie, give me a quality one. I don't want a bunch of
Just to let
like
you know, the policy is not to keep you know certain indie games off of the Xbox platform.
no.
It's to
The
make
policy
sure
is to make
that
sure
it
you get
releases
the
at the
game
same
first and at the
time.
same time. Yeah, yeah. No, I understand that. And the indie developers were mad at that, which I don't know why. I think it's fair. Why is that not fair for
Because
Xbox
Microsoft
games?
is putting their rules into what an indie developer schedule.
Come on, that
An
is
indie
that's
developer,
ridiculous.
you don't know what their budget might be like. You don't know if they could have
So
only afforded
you
one or
want to
two development kits. You don't know what their workforce is like. Forcing them
you
to release, they should be
yes,
able to release one game on a certain platform, gain revenue from that, and then be able to use that to develop for other platforms.
but I don't
That's how a
understand
lot
why
of them do it.
But I don't understand why that's a problem. Why you got to all right? You want to put a
Because
game on
it
a
forces
platform? It's
them
going to be
to
platform. The
adhere
game on the
to
same day.
Microsoft's agenda. And
So
it's hypocritical
what?
because Microsoft said Xbox gamers should be treated like first class gamers. Well, let me ask Phil Spencer a question. I'm sure you fly first class. Do they serve you whatever drink they want to serve you? No, you have a choice. You can get a tequila, you can get a margarita, you can get a water, you can get a Coke. You have options.
All
But
right, I got
on the
something for you.
Xbox platform, you don't have those options.
All right,
And
so
that's how they've been doing it for a decade. So they don't need to be
so
telling anyone else to treat gamers like first class gamers when they force people to buy a Kinect camera. When they at first were telling people they couldn't disconnect Connect. They did everything opposite of treating gamers like first class gamers. But
well, it was
they want to push any developers to do as they please.
yes because I feel that it's fair. I don't understand why we should have to wait to get a damn indie game. I don't like if I had
Well, I
something
just
if I went to I
explained to
went
you a situation as to when
yeah
that might happen.
yeah I understand
Are
that,
you
but I
really
don't
that
think Microsoft
impatient
is
where you
wrong.
can't wait a month or,
A month.
6 months for just an indie game?
You know how long it took for us to get Warframe and what's that game? Contrast was on the 360, I believe. But the thing is, there's a lot of the indies that have been on the PS4 that we got long. That PS4 had for a while that we got like much later. Not to say that I could care less if
Do
these
you know
indies come or
why?
not,
Well,
but
that's not really any
if I
developer's
was a
fault.
businessman and I
That's
have power to control of when your games are coming out, if it has to reflect on my developer, I want you gonna release a game on my platform and it's going on that dude's platform. We getting it either the same day or I want exclusive, like some time exclusive. Give me a week ahead or we can get it the
let me
same day.
tell you
There's no
why.
point proceeding
For
like
example,
too
like
months
last
to
gen,
another.
let me tell you why a lot of games didn't come to the Xbox platform, why they came out later on the Xbox platform, and why, really good and huge updates just didn't come and, sometimes didn't come at all. Not for like 6 or 7 months. For example, like, what is that fighter? Skullgirls. The Xbox platform didn't get the Skullgirls update for a long time because on the Xbox platform, Microsoft's policy is that updates could only be like 4 megabytes. But you didn't
Yeah,
have that kind of limit on the PlayStation Network or on the PC, which is why they'll get updates like that. But on the Xbox platform, you have to go through all these hoops and all this other shit just to release an update.
well, I don't know if you notice, Xbox Live and Microsoft, they're pretty sophisticated. Our system isn't always crashing. So with Sony and their unlimited things to do on the PlayStation, that's probably why their system's always down. Now, PlayStation said
What is
something.
always? Because I know when I was on Xbox Live last gen on my 360, my shit was fucking up all the time. I couldn't count how many times I would get kicked out of a party, and it
Oh,
wasn't
getting kicked
it
out of a
wasn't
party,
just
but
me;
were
it
you
was
able to
all of
play
us.
online?
What?
Huh? Were you able to play online?
Um,
Probably.
it just
I
depends. It just
I can tell you
depends.
the Xbox
Sometimes
One.
it's just a
I'll
party
tell you,
system,
Xbox Live
and
has its
sometimes you can
issues.
still play
When it
online. It just
when it hasn't
depends.
I can tell you this, every issue the Xbox Live had so far this gen, none of it allowed me not to play online. Wow, for an hour I couldn't see my friends list, or party chat's been in and out. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day,
Look,
what I
let's just
came
be
to
for
do is
real
to play the
here,
game, and I can
okay?
play the game online. But hold, let me, because you got me on the a whole indie. Oh, why they making forcing indie gamers to do this? Why is it right? PlayStation just got this new update. We got this new cool feature of share play. Now, share play, cool idea, loved it. I almost wanted to buy a freaking PlayStation for that day when somebody told me how it works. I was like, oh, that's dope. But here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. One, first, we thought every game was going to have that feature. Now we know third parties can block it to save sales, right? That's pretty consumerism. But and then it's limited to 720p 30 frames per second. I could care less about that. But everybody who boasts PS4 and roots for PS4 first liner is 1080p. Oh, 1080p 60 frames or 1080p 10 high resolution. But yet the share play option is limited to 720p. But
So,
PS4 was resolution king. See, so is something that an Xbox would say because we've been saying so this whole damn time. But now when it should happen, when it's the other way, it's like,
it's not really the
that's
other way
no
when
big
it's
deal,
a
you know?
feature that allows you to play a game for free for a lot amount of time, just at a lower resolution.
Resolution, and it's limited to probably, I guess, Knack and Infamous probably because a lot of developers are going to be blocking that feature because they don't want to lose out on a sale, or they'll just rather give you a demo.
Well,
Like,
like I said, I think it's limited to a certain amount of time that they're allowed to play, right? It's not like they
I,
can just play the game forever. They can't save data, they can't get trophies. It's just, letting people try out the game along with you. That's all it is. It's free. It's a free feature
well,
that allows you to try out a game. What's wrong
yeah,
with that?
I didn't say anything was wrong with the feature, but the saying it was sold to us that this was going to be available across like every game that we get. That's how it was originally given to us. I'm just saying. That's how it was originally told to us. Like we would be able to play games. Like, what if I'm not a fan? Like, I've never followed Call of Duty, and my boy got Call of Duty on his PS4. I want to try it on the PlayStation 4. Yo, like, do the share play with me. Oh, I can't.
Hmm.
Like, you know what I mean?
You
Like,
know, you just brought up an interesting point.
okay,
Share play, not being on all games, right?
yes,
Up to third parties.
mm-hmm.
And Microsoft's policy where they force developers to release games at a certain time. You see the contrast, right?
Yeah, but that my share play was in response to the whole indie like releasing at a certain time. So like I mean, see, nobody talks about like the stuff that Sony
So you think it's
gives
bad
like
that Sony gives developers the option of putting in a feature or not?
I don't think no. It's bad that they sold it to us as if we were had to do with every game. That we every game we get we're gonna have the option to put. If my
Yeah,
friend
it's
has it,
available
it's
for
going
every game, but it's up to the developer whether or not they want to put it in or not.
it's up to the developer. That wasn't revealed to us. That wasn't revealed to us.
Well, at least they came out later and were honest.
Yeah, after Call
And
of Duty freaking
yeah,
release.
at least they came
After
out
Call of
later and they
Duty.
were honest about it, that we couldn't
Mark,
play a game for free depending on what the developer wanted,
wasn't that my
right?
case with Xbox though? That's my case with Xbox. Like Xbox came out and said,
I don't think you detected my sarcasm.
I'm sorry, you're sarcastic. Okay,
Yes,
but
yes.
it's so it's okay that. So are you agreeing that it's okay that Sony allowing
Look,
developers to
it's
inactivate that
I
feature?
see no problem with giving developers the option whether or not they want to put it in or not. It's their game.
Oh, God.
It's
Okay.
their game. Why shouldn't they have the ability to do that?
All right, so what happens when all third parties, or if all third party studios did that? Which Sony's not going to have a lot of first party games this generation. I'm sorry, I just know it. So that makes that feature almost useless to most of the games we know and love. So
Okay, so if it doesn't have third party support, then you have first and second party support with a free feature. That's
the,
fine. I'm okay with
okay,
that. Oh, I get to play a game for free. Okay. Play a game with my friend. Okay, that's fine. I don't see the downside in this.
the the downside is it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. That feature is not guaranteed to work on the games that you might be interested in.
Okay, well, that's up to the
So
developer.
not everybody wants to play
I
Killzone,
don't blame the developer for doing what they feel is necessary
but you
for
don't.
their
But you
game
blame Microsoft for not allowing people to release indie games on their consoles 6 months after they release on the
because
PlayStation.
it forces the developer to adhere to Microsoft's agenda.
Yes.
And it doesn't regard the developer's schedule, and it doesn't regard the developer's budget, and all the slew of other things that could happen when developing a game. I think it's ridiculous.
Well, I think it's ridiculous that
And that's another good
Sony won't
reason.
let all
A
their
lot of
like first
developers,
on their
a lot of
developers.
developers were supporting the PlayStation brand, and Microsoft had to play up their indie support like big time. You remember that,
Well,
right? Shortly after
well,
reveals.
question. What happened? There was this thing where as an Xbox 360 gamer, my hard drive was full of freaking indies. Now, my question is, had this policy always been in place? Because if I have to think about it, it probably has. Hence why the PS4 is finally getting getting Xbox indies, like when the Xbox 360 indies. Like the thing is, people like, oh, Xbox is trying to run up on the indie bandwagon. When Xbox had the indies hands down, like we had the indies, we had all of them. We
Yeah,
had
and they were all pretty mad when Microsoft moved all their games to this really obscure place in the store. That was a big problem,
but
right? Right?
I guess like I said
Or
I
when indie developers wanted to release a big patch and they couldn't because Microsoft has a limit on how big the patches can be,
yeah,
to fix their games and such,
because
right?
it's about stability. And if you're gonna make
Or how
your
developers
services to work,
that
and
released games on the Xbox
it takes
released it on the
got
PC and made back the development costs in just a day, or made more money from just their game being on sale for a week than they did on Xbox Live for a year.
question. If you had a product, right, and and through a lot of testing, you realize, oh crap, if we give if we do anything over 5 or 7, megabytes, this could cause some distortions in our, how the system runs. So we have to cap it, you know, until we can up it. Like, why not have that cap? Like, why not? I don't get it. I don't
They
understand why the
had the
problem. Why
cap
is it
because
in?
Microsoft pays they it goes through Microsoft servers. So Microsoft has to pay for the transfer of the data from their servers to your console, which is why Microsoft wanted to keep the file size small.
Mm, can't they just charge them for that? Like, I mean, aren't
Well,
Microsoft the
they
big
did.
guys?
Yeah, they do. They
Right.
do
So
charge. They do
why have a
charge
limit if they did it for cost? Why have a limit if they did it for cost if they can just charge the developer that?
because
So
it's cost effective for Microsoft and it makes updating and putting patches in quicker. But not a lot of people know that the patches are just that small.
I just don't
I
understand
mean,
it.
could
If
you imagine being charged $40,000 for a 4 megabyte patch?
I don't know. Honestly, if I was in the business of making games where I can spend $40,000 for an update, it probably it probably
Every
wouldn't for me
developer
because
can't afford that.
$40,000 to that person they're charging is probably like $40 to me. You know what I mean? I don't, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? It depends.
Every developer can't afford that.
No, every
And
developer can't. But
that's why Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo need to work with any developers and be flexible because not all of them are big names. They don't have a whole lot of capital behind them. Some of them are just making their start. So you need to be flexible with them and let them do what they need to do at their cost, at their time.
And and so this is one of the reasons why the PS4 is a better platform getting Xbox One, because it looks to me, if it's these limitations, is that it's actually giving us the quality indie games. If that's the case, if it's costing indie developers too much money
You
to
would
get the
have
games.
gotten them, you know. It doesn't mean that they weren't going to release them at the same time. They just Microsoft pretty much just eliminated the competition, because if someone might have both platforms and it comes out on both at the same time, they have a 50-50 chance, depending on what the person likes, to get it bought on their platform. But if it comes out first on Sony and maybe a week later on Microsoft's, then Microsoft potentially loses a sale. It's all about keeping control of the potential numbers. That's what it's really about.
Oh man, so this is why gamers and it's business. Why can't nobody see it both ways? I understand. Like, to me, this stuff
Look, I
doesn't
see
bother
it
me.
from Microsoft's standpoint, but regardless, they
Why
need
is it
to
wrong?
they need to support the indie developer. They should be able to release the game whenever they need to, whenever they're available to.
All right,
Now, if Microsoft is willing to actually, help pay for some of the costs to get the game out, that's fine. I don't know if they're doing that or not. I'm sure with some developers they do that, yeah, but they need to be more flexible.
I don't understand why there's a problem. It's like I mean, should we hate McDonald's because they won't allow Burger King to be on the freeway? Should we hate Starbucks because they can't be like this many feet from like Dunkin' Donuts and stuff like that? It's like,
No,
I don't
you should
understand
hate
why is that a
McDonald's
problem.
because they're making America fat and selling
That
crap food, same as
that
Burger King.
I'm yeah, that's a different argument. But I'm talking about, but the thing is that, damn it, why I only eat Burger King? Why can I get Burger King on 95, but my only choice is McDonald's? That's monopoly. But it's not a problem. Nobody's causing an uproar. But Microsoft
That's
says
not a
no.
monopoly. All they have to do is buy the land and just get their licenses and start building.
Oh God.
McDonald's
Okay,
and
there,
Burger King have
there,
no control over who goes
there's a
where.
reason why you only find McDonald's on the I-95, dude. You're not gonna. There's certain like patents and certain like rules they have in place where they can like kind of sue for stuff like that. I did like a damn, what was I did in freaking school on it, but I'll look it up and hopefully I can have it for you guys soon. But it's something that McDonald's, paid for, and they have that privilege. And I'm sure Burger King can't go. Burger King. Burger King ain't
Microsoft
no
is
second
not
class
paying
citizen though.
for anything. It's just
But
a policy they have in place.
yeah, but I don't understand why the policy is bad. It's like, what's wrong with the policy?
I just gave you several reasons why it's bad.
Yeah, you gave it. Yeah, it's bad for the for some of the developers that who may not be as strong.
Exactly.
Okay, but why is it bad to me as a gamer? Hmm?
Well,
But
I didn't say it was bad for the gamer. It's
but
bad for the
I'm looking
developer.
at all these things as a gamer. I don't care. The thing is, I don't develop games,
So you
so
don't care about the developers.
I care about the end product. I do care about the developer in a certain instance, but when it comes to putting out games and putting out products, and I'm sure every company has some sort of terms and conditions you have to follow. Every time there's terms and conditions on everything. There's NDAs on everything. You like, if that's what it is, the cost to get your game on that platform, you do it. If that's too much for you, don't do it. It shouldn't be like, oh my god. It should just, if you can't meet that, don't do it.
So if any developer can't get a game out on time on the same platform, like Sony or Microsoft, PS4, Xbox One, you might lose out on the game, right?
I might, but as a consumer, I have
So
options to
that
go
affects
buy
you, the
other
gamer. That's
consoles.
bad for you as the gamer, right?
No, it's not bad because, like
Because
I
it
said, I'm
can
a game.
potentially make it so that you just won't ever get a game.
No, because I'm
Yes,
not tied to one console. I
yes.
can just go to the store and buy the console that plays that game. Like for example, I'm never going to get Mario on the Xbox One,
So
but
now you have to go buy a whole nother console.
I'll get a whole nother console. You know what I mean? If my life depended on indies that and a bunch of small titles that I never heard of, yes, I would activate. I'll put my Steam on full blast and be on it. But it doesn't.
So are you done with the indie parody thing?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we've established that it's bad for the developers and it can be bad for gamers as well.
You established that, but I
But you agreed though.
I agree that it could be bad for
Yeah,
developers,
you
but as a
agreed.
gamer, I don't think it's bad for gamers. So like I said, at the end of the day,
You agree, but
gamers
you don't
have
think it's bad for
options.
gamers, even though
No,
you admitted that it could potentially cause games to not come to your platform. That would
yes,
cause you to have to go buy another one.
yes, but I don't think that
But
it's
you don't
not a
think that's
bad
bad.
thing. No, 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 no. It's not a bad thing
Okay.
because at the end of the day, I'm an individual. I'm not tied to one console. You know, I might have my console, my preferred console, but if there's a game that I want to play and it's not available on my console, I'm not going to hate the maker of my console because I don't have the game. I'm just going to go get that. I'm just going to go buy it. That's the reason why,
Well, this isn't
honestly,
about
buying
anyone
has its
hating.
exclusives. But yeah, I mean, it's just a. I mean, that's it is what it is. Like if it's like I I don't feel like if a game doesn't come to my console that it's bad for me. Is all it's gonna do if I really want to
You
play it, I'll go get a
feel that if a
console
game does
and
not
I'll
come to your console, that's bad for
uh,
you. When it could be Microsoft's policy that causes that game to not come to your console.
well actually well here that's funny. That's funny because wasn't it Sony who denied EA access? They didn't give their gamers an option or choice to experience discounted games and free games in the vault.
Well,
Like
I agree. I don't like EA access, and I wouldn't buy it.
yeah, see, but some people want a choice.
But
I have
don't
a
they still
choice.
have the ability to get those games?
They have the ability to get them, yeah, or they
Yeah.
can try and
So
get
you
access
can't really
for.
make that comparison when we're talking about a game potentially not ever coming to your platform because of a policy that Microsoft has in
Yeah,
place.
but there's small time titles that I could give two shits about though. That's the difference. See, I want to experience
Small
Dragon Age.
titles that you were talking about having to go out and buy a whole other console for.
Yeah, that's if the game is that good where I need to play that I want to play that game. Yes, there's people who do that. I'm not speaking for myself. You know what I mean? If that was the case, if Warframe 2 was exclusive only to the PS4 and it was like epic, I mean like super free to play that everybody had to buy, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to try it. I might go to Rent a Center and rent a PS4, or I might just go out like a fool and buy the PS4 for that game. For that game, I'm saying it's not something like yes, the PlayStation have policies. They have rules and stuff where certain things that Xbox get, they don't get. Hence EA Access. But a lot of people say, oh, I don't like EA Access. You don't like EA Access? Why? Because it's not available to your console. It's like not to jock them or
Well, it
anything. It's just
doesn't
like I
matter if
don't.
they don't have EA access or not because they still have the ability to get those games.
Yes, but do they have the ability to get them? Get them for the essentially what $30. What $30 right now will get you what 7 8 games to download and play, and then you get a week access to upcoming titles a week before they come out. Like I get to play Dragon Age a week before its release. It's and play it real time. It's not like a trial or like a demo. It means it's a game. It's you have it unlocked for a certain amount of hours, but everything's access to me. I can unlock achievements. I can my progress saves. So even when the game is finally here, I pick up right where I left off, and the game is discounted to me at 10% off. I don't see why that's a problem, but some people say it's anti-consumerism. So, but I don't know.
So you don't see an issue with having to pay $60 a year for online, $30 for EA access for discounts on just a few titles.
Yeah, no, I don't see a problem. One, anybody who has an Xbox is paying for Xbox Live. Obviously, you don't have a problem playing. And one, I can tell you this: I have not paid once. I have not paid once $60 for an Xbox Live membership. I've been Microsoft in case it sent me one for free. I've been lucky, been getting them for like discounts for like $46 on Amazon. I have not yet since they went up from $50 to $60. I have not once paid $60 for an Xbox Live membership. Now, as far as for EA Access, this the EA Access thing is it may not be best for everyone, but it does serve its purpose. You know, if I'm not
Yeah,
buying,
it's nice for those who have an exclusive interest in EA games. Yes,
yeah, so that's where I feel like,
I
but
just
everybody who has,
personally I wouldn't. I don't support that.
hey, hey, but I don't know. A lot of people, but a lot of
But
people
like
who
I said, you
put
can't
their
really make that
PlayStation now
comparison
from
because the
renting
games are
games
still
for a couple
available
hours.
on the PlayStation platform.
Yeah, but the thing is, essentially, you can buy it. I'm not saying that you can't. I'd rather if I have to pay $30 a year, you know, for the games, than to buy those games at 50, 60, with $60 a pop each of them, where I can have
I just think
all of
it's
them
a
at my
better
disposal.
value when you pay $50 a year and you get free games every month and you get discounts on games that are not just from one particular publisher, but you get a
We get
variety.
discount on games too. We get discounts on games too every month there, and there's some like I can get right now. Oh, actually, I can tell you which games. I don't got all that stuff like that you have like to show the screen, but I'll look at it right now, and anybody who has an Xbox One can agree with me. I can get there's several games and DLC that are not first party too that are on some crazy sale. We have Murder
Yeah,
Soul
I know they're
Suspect,
doing that now.
$25. Titanfall season pass $6.25. Titanfall $25. Sherlock Holmes $40. Thief $20. D4 $10. It's like we get sales too. Like we get discounted sales too, and plus, and then of course the games, anything you buy from EA Access is discounted too. Like that, I don't understand. There's no leader in there. We get free games every month too. They're not probably the best games, but free games, honestly, I can't complain about it. It's free. I have the option to download it or not. But if it ain't my cup of tea, I ain't gonna download it. If it is, hey, I'll give it a shot.
So free access to games is good, right?
Yeah, it's cool on any on platform, but it shouldn't be like
Just like
a
SharePlay.
given. Yeah, sure, if it works.
So SharePlay is good now, right?
I told you SharePlay was good. I said that when I was like
Okay,
when they
just
explained
gonna
to me what
clarify
SharePlay
that.
was going to
Just gonna
do.
clarify it.
Yeah, like I said, it earlier. I said when a friend of mine told me what SharePlay you're able to do, I wanted to buy a PS4 that day. Like I said, I always planned to get one. I just wanted to wait a little bit to the games that I had my eye on come like closer to their release dates. Right now, I have no need to have one.
Okay, that's fine, but it still isn't relevant and it doesn't, go parallel with what we're talking about before.
What the our deals our deals for gold? You did mention that like people enjoy paying for subscription and getting free games and discounted on games, but like EA Access isn't our only discount on games. Xbox give us discounts on many
I
games as
wasn't
well.
talking about that, but
Okay,
anyway,
all right.
um, what other gripes did you have about PC, PlayStation?
Um, like I said, I know a lot of people were barking on me because they were like going on about like the PlayStation 4's hardware being like better than the Xbox One, which I had no issues with. But to me, when I sit back and look at them and I look at their games, to me they essentially are the same, like do the same thing. Just one has a little bit more that it can do on the feature side, and they do
So
they're pretty much
essentially,
similar
both
products.
platforms are a, a lot alike, right?
Yeah, to me, and that's why I
So
didn't feel like
what do you think is the reason why Microsoft is behind in sales if they're so similar?
Um, there's a lot of reasons. One, it could be obviously the reveal. like I said, a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people, you know, disliked it, turned a lot of gamers off. That's one. You have the price tag, that that $100 difference, and then the connect. Some people weren't too happy with. So those all could have played a factor in a lot of things. Even with like the changes Microsoft made, a lot of the consumers that you have people at these retail outlets, people are still under the impression, thanks to the internet and YouTube and stuff like that, that the Xbox is still have these, people are still asking like, oh, you can't trade in games on the Xbox One, like with physical copy. People are still telling people that, and that's because when I go and log in, when I go searching YouTube and I see Xbox One, a lot of the videos that shows up are videos from people did like last year, right around the time or around the E3 time, in all caps, and they got the most views and whatnot, and so they show up first. And when parents and when people who are new into the consoles looking, they see that and they're doing comparison videos, it either turns them away or leads them to the other console. So there's many factors of why the Xbox One is behind in sales, but hey, that's that's all I can say. Like I said, a lot of the antics. Like I said, I may not have disagreed with everything, because like I said, I
Okay,
determined I was going to
so
get the Xbox One.
if you
Like,
can give me those reasons, which are good
mhm,
reasons why people probably wouldn't support the Xbox One,
mhm.
then why would you still be upset when PC gamers are talking about the Xbox?
It's like
If you yourself can give me good reasons why not just a PC gamer but anyone would be against it,
because
then
I feel
why
like
would you
everybody's
still be
against it
upset?
based on like old information, stuff that isn't an issue in today's, like, you know what I mean. I That's why,
I mean, that's business. That's how you lose consumers. That's how you lose customers. When you alienate your customers, you're going to lose them.
yeah. But until this day, people are still like dropping, like, people, like the way people the way some of you guys talk about Xbox, as if like Don Mattress came into your house and like just like beat the hell out of your whole family or something like that. That's exactly how people like react when it comes to Xbox. It's like, why can't
Well,
people just
as we all
understand?
know, gamers are very passionate and gamers hold grudges. They do. Well, like one of the most hated developers, Phil Fish. If he ever makes a game, probably won't ever sell because Phil Fish pretty much shat on every gamer out there.
Oh yeah, that was
And that's why
that was another.
Microsoft is behind now because they did gamers and gaming a disservice and they're paying for it. Now, I'm not saying the state that they're in right now is bad, but just the reasons that we've had from everything that they've done thus far, that's why people won't support them. And that's why people pretty much have said they're never going to go back to Xbox.
Okay, but then, like, all right, yeah, that's reason. I was just wondering why PC and gamers hate Xbox but love PlayStation. But if those are the answers, we have the freedom, we have the reveal, we have what is it else that we talked about? Uh, freaking
But I'm
having a
still not
brain.
sure. I mean, it's not just you. I mean, I see a lot of Xbox guys that just seem to think that PC gamers should be supporting Xbox because they're like brothers or something. It's weird.
Yeah, well, reason why I said that is because, like I said, I had a lot of like during like the 360s life cycle, we like there was a lot of games that were just coming only to like 360 and PC, whether it be first party or third parties, because they were like the only games, I guess, the platforms that could run the game the best, to that the developers wanted to run, or whatever deal that Microsoft had in place. I feel like there's a reason why some of these first party games and even third party exclusive, mostly third party exclusive to Microsoft, it
Well,
is almost
part of the
guaranteed to
reason
come
why that
to
happened a lot
PC.
last gen was because the PC and the Xbox 360 have a similar architecture, so it's
Yeah.
easy to develop for both of those platforms. And
Hmm.
at the time, with the PS3, it had a very difficult architecture, so a lot of developers just skipped over it altogether.
Yeah. But the thing, and this time around, it's like when and this one that gets me all the time. Like I used to like put PC people would complain that Xbox One exclusive is coming to the PC. I'm like, well, you're not happy? Is like you get you get to play the game in more likely better resolution and better
What
frames.
PC
But like,
gamers are upset about a game coming to their platform?
it's not it's no they would sit there and like say this is why Xbox sucks, PC gets this that we're getting it first, we get Dead Rising, now we're getting Rise and all this stuff. I'm like, but why is that a bragging right, I everybody
Well,
said
they
every
just
PC
making fun of you guys because you guys play those games up so big, and then they just get released on another platform, a better platform.
well, a PC, like I said, like I think PC and consoles are they're it's different classes. So I've never been a person that says, oh, my Xbox One is better than your PC. I always said I feel console gaming, the comfortability is better than PC gaming. I prefer console gaming, but I never said like these next gen platforms
Hey,
are
give me just one
better.
second. Give me just 1 second. Fucking cat. Come on. Come on.
Please don't. It's not my internet.
Fucking piece of shit cat. Sorry.
Call me a peasant. Oh my god.
Sorry about that.
That's alright.
When the cat needs her food or water, she reaches under the door and she puts her claws out and stuff, trying to get in and open the door. So I had to go take care of it. But oh yeah, back to what we were talking about. I don't know. I think probably the main reason why a lot of Xbox guys get so upset when a PC guy says something about the Xbox is simply because Microsoft makes the operating system. I think that's
Yeah,
just the main thing. Like they feel like they're brothers or whatever. But it's kind of like a misconception because Microsoft does not own the PC platform. They merely
yeah,
make an
yeah,
operating system.
yeah.
It's just one
that
piece of the puzzle.
yeah, but it's an important piece of the puzzle. You know what
Well,
I
a
mean.
hard
Until
drive is important just as much as an operating system.
yeah, but like you need an
A graphics
operating
card
system.
is just as important as an operating system.
Yeah, but you can have all that,
RAM is just as
without
important as an operating system.
without an operating system, what do really have? Like I had, like I
It
said,
all
I
has
just
to come
put
together. They
I
all are
had a
equally as important.
hey, like without an operating system, the PC is dead weight. I remember I had bought a PC, nice one, and I had to throw an operating system when I was having debate, and went with Windows 7. Because I'm not too big of a fan with Windows 8 on the PC platform. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Windows 8. I like Windows
Well,
7, but
you could have changed Windows 8 to be like Windows 7.
I'm still trying to figure that out actually because I just did it on another laptop. So, um, But as for like, yeah, I think I was talking about them being like, you know, brothers is just like a lot of PC like, and like I said, you said they got the same games because they shared the same architecture. But the thing is, every time when Microsoft secures an exclusive, whether it be first party, but normally third party, it's like almost guaranteed to go to the PC because it's in Microsoft best interest. So I'm like, it's like,
Well,
but
Microsoft has
yet,
nothing to do with the game going to the PC.
yet does it
Microsoft has
does
nothing to do
if
with
they
games like
do
Rise going to the PC.
if they have the thing about Rise and Dead Rising is that they have they when they put money into it and they term like Tomb Raider that's it's a timed exclusive but it's only time to is going to be on that Xbox One for winter 2015 and then probably summer 2016 is going to the PC. Like these are things that they're not being paid to go on to another platform. When Microsoft have like personal stake and personal and put money into these third party games, it's like, and what about their first party games? Is that up to developers or is that up to Microsoft? Like when first party,
Microsoft's
meaning
first
Microsoft
party
big
games
studios.
are up to Microsoft to choose to whatever they want to do with because Microsoft owns those games.
Yeah, so like
So when it
like
comes to
so
third party games like Rise, Rise can do as it, I mean, Crytek can do as they please.
can they? I mean, we don't. They have what contract that they have
Obviously, they can't
fixed.
since they released it on the PC. They might have had a timed exclusive, sign, document or whatever, but still came to the PC.
Yeah, but okay, all right. So Microsoft has nothing to do with the third party exclusives going to the PC.
They don't. They might pay for timed
Okay,
exclusivity, but after that, the developer can do whatever they want.
all right. It's well, yeah, of course, I agree. After the time exclusive, after the time contract, yeah, okay, yeah.
I mean, Microsoft doesn't want people buying games on PC anyway.
Well, they don't for the most part.
Yeah, they really don't because they have no control over that. They don't make money from that.
Yeah, but the thing is, that looking at like sales like games units don't really sell on PC. I mean, I remember like shit, damn, do they even sell like I don't like I think they don't even sell I could be wrong, but do they even sell like no disc based PC games in stores anymore?
Yeah, they do.
They do?
You
So I
can
remember they
buy
used to
you
have
can
a
buy disc-based
large
games
shelf
still.
life
You can go
during
buy
the stores.
Borderlands the prequel on disc if you want to.
Okay. Yeah. Only because I remember at one point in time they
You
had
just
like
don't really see a lot of retail PC games because a lot of PC gamers have moved over to digital.
yeah, so
And when it's digital, it's a little, I don't think they really release digital numbers like that. What are you doing,
no.
cat? Stop it. Stop it. But they don't have to sell as much, on the PC than they do on the console because they make more money off a digital sale on the PC anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's a whole lot less middlemen.
And that's for both consoles. That's the only one of the only issues that I have. I was like I said, I don't mind paying for online gaming, but for being that a lot of things are going digital now, I don't see why the games are still $60, and that's on all both the platforms, both the consoles. It's like you can get them digital day one, and it's still full $60. That's probably my only one of my only issues with the
Yeah, so
games
you
in the
can imagine
console.
how crappy it is to buy a $60 game, and unless you pay a yearly fee, you won't be able to use half of it, huh? Kind of like on the Xbox for about a decade, huh?
Well, on
Right?
the
Right?
Xbox for that, I didn't
Right?
buy games digitally on the 360, so I don't know. It didn't really like feel like that, but
Yeah, you can buy a
hey,
digital. It could be on your hard drive, but unless you pay that yearly fee, it's just nothing but redundant data, at least the online portion.
but that can be said for both platforms. So
Yeah, yeah, for
I
this generation, yes.
That's why I was like, I don't understand why. Like, if PC's gonna hate a console, why not hate both of them? They do the same shit. I don't understand it. Like,
Well, I think I explained pretty thoroughly throughout this entire thing that they don't exactly do the same.
well, they kind of do. It's just that
And
one
you've
doesn't work all the
agreed to
time.
just about everything I said.
Did I? I don't
Well,
know. I have to if you put this on YouTube, I have to rewatch it.
yeah, it'll probably be up on YouTube. Probably tonight.
Ah, somebody said finish him. I appreciate your fans. I mean, they're weirdos, but they're hardcore.
Yeah, you don't want to look at the chat during the debate. A lot of time I
they
don't.
they want you to do the troll face. I think I've seen it a couple of times.
I don't even know what they're talking about.
Uh,
But what are you doing? Stop it.
wait, I reported BBC for animal. Let me stop reading this.
Come here.
Oh, shit. All
Come
right,
here.
so
Getting your hair all over the fucking place.
KidSmoove is a star. If they were trying to say ass, they definitely misspelled that without even putting S's in there. But okay. Um,
But like I stated, there's plenty of reasons why PC gamers, and not just PC gamers, but a whole lot of gamers don't support the Xbox brand and talk shit about it.
yeah, but they do it for a living. But like I said, I'm here to say, as a gamer, as a whatever they want to call me, Xbox fanboy, whatever. And it's not even really actually a fanboy thing, but it was just my personal thing. Even if it was like, man, like the arguments I used to have with when I was on PlayStation and freaking Nintendo and Xbox guys would rock me, but it's like the thing I'm saying is the Xbox One is it's a great console, and I think a lot of people are missing out due to others' opinion. You know what I mean? And a lot of these opinions that are thrown out there from some people who actually even touch the console, and I find that like amusing. But
Why
hey,
worry about something that you're not 100% sure about?
I'm sorry.
Why worry about something you're not 100% sure about?
What do you mean by 100% sure about?
You're worried about whether or not people are going to buy a console based on what other people say.
Hey, this
You're worried about a hypothetical that's based on another hypothetical.
it's not a worry. I'm not worried at all. I mean, because I have no personal, like I said, I have no personal like interest of what like the Xbox like sells or anything like that. It's just I already got mine. I'm going to play it regardless if it sells 1 or 1 million.
So it doesn't
My
matter
thing
what
is
people say.
no, it doesn't. But it's just that when you go, you kind of wonder, and I get confused. And when I'm looking through everybody's videos and seeing what they have to say about it, and I ignore some, I react. And one day I just like, man, I want to vent out on
But
some
they
of the stuff
tell
I've
you
been seeing.
why.
Hey, well, you did, but like I said,
Well,
is
you yourself
everything is.
told me reasons why.
I told you reasons that yeah, I didn't
So
say
you
why people
knew these
hate. I
reasons,
told you
but you were
people
still
why
upset and acting like you didn't
everything's
understand.
no. It's not. I'm not one. I'm not upset, and these were the reasons that you put forth was reasons I answered reasons of why it's probably is why it's behind. I'm gonna give you reasons why PC guys hate Xbox but they're still stroking PlayStation. You know what I mean? I think if you're a PC gamer, you have no business like siding with any consoles because these consoles can't apparently to the elitists do what your PC can. So why does it matter? You know what I mean? I was like, it's like
Well,
why
like I
can't
said, they support the consoles that support the gamers.
and Sony supporting the gamer?
Yes. Sony has had a track record for having more options and more freedom for gamers.
Had had and they also have a track record of instability and fucking up, like you know what I mean. But you know what I
Well,
mean.
that
Like I said,
happens with every online service. You can't
like
expect
that.
You can't
like
expect
that.
every online service to always be up at all times.
Yo,
That's
the last place,
unrealistic.
that's
Just
the last place.
unrealistic.
Hey, I tell you, it's the last place to be when a new game comes out is on the PlayStation because the networks is going down. Like, what the fuck?
Well, when you have double the users as the competition, yeah, you might have a little bit more traffic.
I think PlayStation's the only. I think how PlayStation, yeah, PlayStation now, not PlayStation now. The PSN had delayed the Evolve beta. Like the shit went down before it went live. They had to push this shit back. I
Okay.
mean, I don't. It just I don't understand. But this is the things that you guys like. This is the thing that you guys support because like you guys support what was it 13, I don't know how many people are on PSN now, you guys are paying for the same online service that you got for free on last gen, but it's a-okay.
Well, that's
At
not
least
all
with
they're
us
paying for.
at least with us Xbox people,
Sony has
we
offered a
always
lot
repay.
longer than Microsoft free games across 3 different platforms. Right?
Oh my god. Oh my
Right?
god. We get the thing is
Right?
that's kind of
Right?
unfair because the Xbox has all right,
Right?
Xbox have 3 platforms, but
Vita,
they're offering 360s.
PS3, PS4, right?
We don't have a handheld.
So,
We have
that's not what I'm
Xbox One and
asking you.
Xbox 360.
That's not what I'm
We get
asking you.
we get free games off of, across both platforms. If the Xbox 360 actually get better free games than the Xbox One do. So that
That's because there's more
that's
games available on
bullshit.
the Xbox 360.
All right then. So you can't say, oh, like you can't. You're including Vita and PS3 here, but like we get the same thing.
I'm
I mean,
just
if we had
telling
a
you,
handheld,
I'm just
sure.
telling you what all of that goes towards. It goes
Oh,
towards the
that's
free
that's
games.
what that money goes towards.
Yes, some of it because they have to pay the developers money to put their
Need to
game
go
up for
to the
free.
damn need to go to their peer to prepare whatever their online system they're running. Otherwise, because it's obviously not going to the place that actually allows you to play games online. But if you feel
You
like,
do know that they pay the developers to put the games up for free, right?
oh my god, sure. That's why their online runs like garbage. Um, but so what happened? So Xbox gives away free games. I mean that's what you guys have in common. PlayStation people and PC games, you guys are in love with the free game stuff, and that's not a problem. That's not a problem. But you know what? You're right. That's why PC gamers hate Xbox but stroke PlayStation because y'all get free games.
Well,
We get free games too, but
that's
y'all free
not the
games
only
is off the
reason. That's just
charts.
one
That's
particular
a
reason.
big reason
That was just
because
one
that's
point I was trying to make before
you.
you got
You
sidetracked.
thing is, but you're essentially saying it's okay for them to pay for PlayStation now PSN because they get free games. Even reason why they started giving away free games because the
So
PlayStation 3's
Xbox Live
online
is
hit
state of
the
the art.
shit. Huh?
So
Compared
Xbox
to
Live is
play
state of the art.
PSN, hell yeah. Compared to the
But you
PSN,
told me earlier that the friends list is always going down the party
no,
system.
I didn't say it's always going down. I said I
You did
had
say
issues
that.
in the past. I didn't say it's always going down. I said I had have issues in the past where I couldn't see my friends list, but at the end of the day, I could still play my games online. That was my case.
You know, the
Every
only person I know that's an Xbox fan that's actually honest about the Xbox Live issues is this dude named Paul in Gaming Battlegrounds. He is
Gibble.
the only one that addresses when Xbox Live goes down. Everyone else completely ignores it. I know I see it when it goes down, but everyone else, when he posts it up there, they just ignore it.
But the thing about here's the thing about the Xbox, here the Xbox One. And this happened just recently when somebody was like, if you're talking about Gibble, he was like, Xbox One is down. He posted a picture, and I posted my picture, me being online at the same slide. It's like I'm not down. So
But you
sometimes
have to realize I see people like you and
but
other people in these groups.
no, you
Every
don't see
time
people like
PSN goes down
you don't
and a
see people
person
like
on
me.
the PS4 says, "Oh, well, I'm still up. I'm still online." You
Here's
guys
the thing.
never listen. And then as soon as someone says Xbox Live is down, it's always the very same opposite. "Oh, well, I'm still online. I can still connect." It's both ways.
But
It's
every
both
time when Xbox
ways.
Live has been down for me, I've come out and said Xbox is down, or I'll ask somebody is Xbox down for you too in a public post. That I never had a problem saying this about down. But the thing about it, when Xbox Live is down, it's not completely down. We can still play games online.
It depends.
I haven't every
You have to realize
it's not
Xbox
been fully
Live
down.
isn't just an entire nation. It's not just that. It's the way it works is that the internet is in nodes. You should already know this. And between your place and Xbox Live, there could be a node that's down. And so when you check for Xbox Live, it's going to show that it's down. Now, that's outside Microsoft's control. Microsoft can't determine whether or not that node's going to be up or not because that's not in their network. You'll see this kind of issue if you play games online a lot. Like one particular server I like to play on, it's located up in Canada, and one random day, my ping was just through the fucking roof. And that was the only server I like to play on. But the issue wasn't with me, and it wasn't with the server. It was with one of the nodes that my internet connection was going through to get to that server. And there's no alternate routes in these things.
My thing was when we put forth that Xbox Live is down. My thing is it never affected online gameplay. It may affect other things such as party chat and friends list, but has not
Like I
affected
said, it depends.
gameplay.
Because I've seen it to where it's completely
you can't
limited.
say
I've seen it.
specifics.
I've seen it recent where it said on Microsoft's
Oh
website
God, on the
signing into
website.
Xbox Live. I think that would stop people from multiplayer, wouldn't it?
No, you know why? Because
Signing
every
into
time
Xbox Live
a
wouldn't
small
stop people
issue
from.
is happening on Xbox Live, they report it, and that's when it's not even affecting everyone. So that's the thing is you're going
So
by
you don't
what
have to
people
sign
post on
in
Facebook.
in order to
I'm
play
going by when I
online.
log in on the Xbox Live.
So you don't have to sign
Every
in.
time I'm able to sign in, and I remember the day where it was having the sign in issues, which I didn't have, but I kept trying to show people I didn't have, and I'm still able to play the game. You know what I mean? The thing is that you're going by you'll go. I don't know why people do this, but non-Xbox owners go to Xbox.com to see if there's Xbox Live's having an issue, or they'll go on Facebook to see anybody's posting a picture of their online thing, but
Yeah,
you
their
can't
status.
truly come
Yeah.
out and say you experienced it because you
I'm
don't
not saying
own
I experienced it. I'm just saying it goes down just like any other service.
yeah, it
It goes down just
I
like any.
guess
Look,
sure
I've been playing online
it
since
goes down just as good
1996.
as PS4 goes
I've
down.
seen
So
up,
I
I've seen down. It's just normal.
it's
But a
yeah
lot of the
the way
Xbox guys have this impression that their system is just unstoppable, unbreakable, uninterruptible. But it happens like every other week, just like any other service. They just, when it happens, they don't say anything or it doesn't affect them.
sure I don't know I know I did my fair share of reporting when Xbox went down when I'm either asking is anybody else having this issue or is like my shit is down or party chat is fucking up, but at the end of the day every time Xbox had some sort of reported issue, these were days I was still able to go online and play. May not have been able to get in the party chat successfully, may not have been able to see my friends list, but I was still able to play. And many people can
Yeah,
agree with me,
just
unless they're
like on
just
PSN, as long as you're still signed in before the issue happens, you can still connect and play.
well. That no, that's actually incorrect because what day was it? Was it 2 days? Was it 3 days ago when everybody's having this issue? I remember I was, and then I have two Xboxes in my house. You know, I if I turn my Xbox off, I turn it on. I remember I was in a party first with Anchorman. We spoke for a little bit during this issue, and
Oh,
I'm like, wait, I just left a party with this person, right? Had to leave the house, came back, got into a party with I think my boy AJ, and I'm like, what's going on? And it's Smash and Santo. I'm like, okay, so is anybody else having issues with Xbox Live? Because I'm here on Facebook, and they're like, no. So, and this is with my Xbox on and off. So, I I don't know. Maybe what I was seeing was a lie, but hey.
look, please realize
Oh
what
my
I'm
god,
saying is
shit.
that I'm not saying that it happens all the time on Xbox Live. I'm not saying, it doesn't happen on PSN. I'm just saying it happens. It's normal. That's just how life is. That's just how these infrastructures are. It happens with Steam. And Steam is more stable than Xbox Live and, PSN. It happens. There's nothing they could do about it. But to act like one is better than the other based on stability is completely asinine.
All right, so are you saying PSN and Xbox Live are like equal in like that yeah, are they equal
Equal in terms of what?
in everything, in everything that they provide, whether it be gameplay, stability, free shit, and all this other crap that you can get for being subscribed to either PSN or Xbox Live.
Well, I'd say they're both good services, but the way I would say it is that I think PSN Plus would have a little bit more value.
A service that was once free now has value that it costs more.
PlayStation Plus, not PSN.
Well, PlayStation Plus, yeah, it okay, sure. I don't see where the value is, but it works sometimes.
Well, I tried to explain it earlier, but you just didn't get it.
Oh, are we talking about? Are we referring to the free games?
Yeah, not
We
just that
got
though.
free games too, though, and we got the discounts like you mentioned. So,
Yeah, but as I stated, you can get more games across a wider variety of platforms.
I'm sorry, say that again.
You can get a wider variety of games across more than two
Yeah,
platforms.
that. But come on, man, this is like. But so can the Xbox 360 gets games too. The Xbox 360 and Xbox One, they both get free games. They both do deals with gold. They both get games with
Yeah,
gold.
but
No,
unfortunately,
you just got
three is greater than two,
well
which is
because
why I say PSN Plus has a little bit more value.
wait a minute, wait a minute. Do you own you don't own a PS4? Do you own a PS3 and a PSP?
I have a PS3 and a PS Vita
Wow, I said PSP. Damn, that shows how much I pay
and a
attention.
PSP. So
Oh,
you're not wrong
okay.
there.
So you're giving PSN a leg up because the Xbox One doesn't have the Xbox brand doesn't have a handheld.
I just said it just gets a little bit more value, just a little bit more.
Uh, okay, but my Xbox Live works. Okay, whatever. I'm sorry. Well, Microsoft lost the Xbox Live isn't superior because it doesn't have a handheld to support it. Okay, that makes sense.
Well, it's not, whether they have a handheld or not. I'm just saying you have more options available with PlayStation Plus.
Okay. No, all right. Yep. All right. What else we got?
Well, you got the floor.
All right. So, okay. All right. So, yeah, that makes every sense. I'm still not seeing. Can we talk a little bit? What is your take on the power of the two? I mean, since you have like the master race,
Um, PS4 can put out 1080p. Xbox One a little bit less. Okay,
now what does that mean to you? Like, does
nothing really.
1080p doesn't mean because one of my arguments were that this 1080p thing has been very, very interesting, honestly, because I know what the hell they were talking about until like I think shit, was it like September, October 2013 when this thing started coming across. I didn't even know what the Xbox 360 was playing on, but PS4 runs 1080p, 30 frames per second for the most part on all of its games. The Xbox One is either here or there, and
720, 900.
720, 900, 1080, but for some reason, in a majority of the games, they either able to have a stable frame rate or the textures appear to be better, and now they're starting to come out in more of the newer games, which show, I know Call of Duty, a lot of people say Call of Duty, well no, dude, it's a partnership between Microsoft, but I don't know. What else game, I think, but they were showing in games from last year too, where there was like a disparity where the Xbox One performed better in certain areas, even in games like Madden. But those things get like completely ignored because when once the PlayStation 4 fans have developers scared to announce any type of resolution on any of their games. because it's just it's just bad.
So I
All right.
guess Xbox guys are just used to having low resolutions, I guess.
No, we just used to have better textures and better like a better performing game versus like I mean
Well,
versus
it's not hard to
low,
get a
low
better
resolution.
performance when it's only 720p.
Well, damn. I mean, I'm not a resolution whore, so I mean, I guess to me, the craziest thing is when I'm looking at these games and I'm looking at them being played on the TVs, and I have a, just an issue comparing these games when it comes graphically. Oh my God, I rely on Digital Foundry. I mean, I hate Digital Foundry, but is I have a
If it doesn't matter to you, then why worry about it?
I don't worry about it, but like it's something that always comes up whether if I do a video that has nothing to do with resolution or if I'm talking about something that has nothing to do with gameplay. I can just say something about it and then people either flood the comments with the 50% power that outputs 1080p, but it becomes a big power thing that the PS4 is more powerful because it does 1080p, even though it's handicapped the gameplay.
Why are you talking about this 50% power thing? Where is this coming from?
Oh, because that was around the time that the Xbox One, the PS4 was announced. It was announced. People were saying 50% more power. This was coming from, people analyzing the specs of the two consoles, and people took that and ran with it. Same way that people were going out with still talking about what Microsoft planned to do with the
Who was
Xbox One.
saying this?
You have, let's see, I have to go back in time. You have, I want to say every gaming outlet had, you have N4G, you have NeoGAF, even the IGN, Eurogamer, of course. Um, when they were breaking down the specs of showing like, oh, the PS4 is more powerful, they were talking about like the clock speeds of the two. And honestly, I'm not really into hardware, so I couldn't even tell you which one was more powerful. I just go by what I see on the screen and if it looks good or not. But these are arguments I run into, and that was one of the things that came up in the comment section after I went on my PC rant, where people were like, "Oh, the PS4 has better hardware, better hardware." It's like, okay, it's better hardware, but where? Show me. Nobody has showed me that. And I say this.
Okay, let me clarify something. You do
And
know that the 50% power thing was just a misconception stated by one particular person at NeoGAF, and he admitted himself that he had just repeated what he heard from his developer friends, and later clarified that they were talking about developing when it comes to development time, not exactly power.
well, the development time and 50% more power. That's a huge disparity in terms, and I don't know, whatever.
Well, if you looked up where the rumor came from, you'd find that.
No, tell the PlayStation trolls. I mean, they ran with that for a damn near. Actually, they still run with the thing today.
And
Um,
so do Xbox guys. Whenever there's a small issue with the PlayStation game, where's that 50% more power?
I'm still asking. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Because
so it's not just PlayStation then, huh?
yes, no, but the thing is, that's what was the
So
big
why
deal.
mention
Everybody
just
was.
PlayStation when you yourself do it?
I do it in a response. If you're being told that, oh, my console is 50% more powerful than yours, and that's all they tell you, and then when the games come out and then there's no disparity between the two, you're like, well, where the hell is that power? Show me a game that tells me I need a PS4.
Well, that's all up to you. You know, that people can't convince you to buy a game. We're gamers. We're aware of what's on, each platform. If we're gonna buy a platform, we're gonna know what's on there already. It's the digital age.
All right, so but do we have anything else to talk about, or are we done here?
Uh, I'd say I'm done.
All right. Yep. Shout out to everybody in the
Unless there's anything else you wanted
chat.
to ask a question about, anything that you wanted clarification for.
No. Really, it was just what I was saying on Facebook wasn't like this, this thing I was just running with. It was just really me just coming out, and I didn't expect it to get so many people upset. It was just really random.
Nobody
But
was upset. They were just trying to get you to understand what they were saying, but you were instead ignoring them. And
some people said some ridiculous things that had me scratching my head for a long time. But it's I get it, and then I don't get it, but I just don't. It's whatever. Like a lot of people believe that the PS4 is like the second coming of the PC. It's it's a bad misconception. And shout out to Jack Move Johnny. Honestly, I know he said
fuck
something.
that nigga Jack Move. Don't say nothing about him, man. Fucking hate
No.
Jack Move.
No,
Hate that
no.
nigga Jack Move. He knows I hate his ass too.
No, he was in the chat, and I just see my name, and I don't know. He every now and then has something to say about me. Oh man, but I know. Yeah, once this call ends, I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gonna happen. Right. This is the curse of, I guess, debating you. Um, Everybody's gonna come at me on Facebook. All your fans. I don't know if you're aware how many you have, but man, if I could have fans like these, I would never have to get into any type of argument ever, because they would just do it for me. Oh man, so I can't wait to see
Well, they
the
know I can
conversation.
argue for myself,
Yeah,
so they don't. I tell them
yeah,
all the time that I don't need cheerleaders and stuff, but
yeah. For a moment,
people
I thought
people are
you
gonna
guys.
do what they want to do.
Yeah. But yeah, please, everybody, I Twitch stream as well. I'll be streaming soon once my apartment is finished, and I'll you probably won't see it. I'll type in my thing in the chat section, and you can guys follow me on YouTube. You probably already know who I am. If you don't, KidSmoove, and you follow me on YouTube. But thanks to Blackbuster for doing this debate. I openly said I bring it on. I'm ready for it. I don't run. I don't hide. I strongly sit by what I believe in. So get out of here, Jerry. You star boy. Damn.
Was that Jack
I
Move? That sounds like some shit he said. He called you a fuck boy.
Oh, let me scroll up. Man, this is ridiculous. I like all these Asian faces. I'm surprised I don't see Joker and Nicolas Cage. Um,
Man, we probably wouldn't have had to do this if you just read what I said on Facebook.
oh yeah, but honestly, dude, there were so many people coming in at the same time, to the point I didn't like. I seen one of your replies, and then you were asking questions. Everybody's asking questions, and then whoever pissed me off first, I just responded to. But no, honestly, reason why I didn't answer your questions on Facebook is because I didn't get to see them all. And then the thing is, I probably would have read them in the wrong order and whatnot. So,
Well,
like,
next time you can control F and just type in a person's name, and it'll go straight to that person's name.
oh, that's pretty dope. I didn't know that. I learned something new.
You didn't know about the search function on an internet browser?
Not
Find.
on like the Facebook chat, like not the Facebook comment section is just gonna list all your comments like right then and there. If I did that,
It's going to go to wherever my name is mentioned, which is generally going to be someone's username.
well, cool.
Kind of like in Microsoft Word, too.
Dude, I haven't used Microsoft Word since leaving graduating. So,
Notepad?
huh?
Notepad?
Nope. I had no use for it.
Okay.
All my job switched over to like Google Docs, unfortunately, but it works the same way. But that's whatever.
Okie dokie. Well, I guess it was nice chatting with you.
Yep.
All right, you have a good evening.
You too,
Well, it's
man.
probably morning over where you are, right?
Oh yes. Yep. 25 after midnight.
Okay. All right, man, I'm going to let you go. You have a good
All right,
night.
man. You too.